Selling a townhome in Seattle comes with a list of its own challenges that are very unique to townhomes. Stay tuned because today we're going to talk through what those challenges are and how you can combat them if you're thinking of selling your townhome in Seattle. Hello, welcome. This is the first video in our series, Seattle Shifts from Townhome to Your Dream Home, where we're going to talk all about what it takes to sell your Seattle townhome and move from that townhome into a single family residential home that could be your dream home or your forever home. We're going to talk about the trials and tribulations of selling that townhome and how to get into your dream home, things that you'll need to think about from the very beginning all the way through to closing and getting the keys on your brand new home. So today we're going to focus on some of the common challenges that people face when selling a townhome in Seattle. I'm Brennan. I'm here with another deep dive. I'm your favorite Seattle area realtor. Today we're going to tackle these challenges and we're going to talk about real world solutions that can be directly applied to these challenges and help you move from that townhome into your dream home. Before we get started with the video today, I'd love to know in the comments below, do you own a townhome in Seattle? And what's your biggest concern about selling that townhome and moving to your dream home? Make sure you leave a comment below. Let's get right into it. Let's start by highlighting 3 specific challenges that are going to need strategic solutions. Number 1, maximizing space. You as a townhome owner know firsthand that your townhome can seem cramped at certain times, especially if you own a townhome that they've built recently where it's very long and narrow. This is something that buyers are very aware of, and it's important that you think strategically about how to address these issues. The first thing you can use is mirrors placed strategically in different places throughout the home to make the home feel bigger. Oftentimes you can have a mirror literally mirror a window that makes it feel like the space is a lot lighter, brings in that natural light, and makes it feel bigger. This is also where staging comes in. Staging is super important to give a buyer an idea of how the room can be used. Each room needs to have a purpose and a function that the buyer can see themselves using it for. This is really important because staging is all about strategy of making a buyer feel at home, like they really want to be in this home. So we want to make sure every single space has a dedicated purpose and feels as large as it possibly can. This also has to do with the furniture and the size of the furniture. If you're putting in an oversized couch to a living room, that space is going to feel even more cramped than it would if you had a couch sized appropriately for that living room. So we have to think strategically about how to maximize the space and make sure that that buyer sees the value in every square inch of the home. Okay, number 2, dealing with those privacy concerns. Now in a townhome, one of the main factors is that you share either one wall or 2 walls with a neighbor. Now this can be a concern for buyers. If you're a townhome that's an end unit, you're freestanding, meaning you have no shared walls, you really have a leg up on the competition because those are 2 very valuable features in a townhome. Now, for those of you who don't have those features, it's important to highlight what is the soundproofing that you've put in specific to your unit. What is the insulation like if you have that information from when you bought the home? What measures were taken to make sure that soundproofing was an important part of the design and build process? We'll want to emphasize all of those when your townhome goes to the market. Now, the other thing you'll want to think about is privacy screens or other measures you put in for privacy. So, for example, if you have a shared outdoor space that's sectioned off by a fence from your neighbor, or if you have a rooftop that's been sectioned off, if you have a privacy screen there or a way to create privacy with maybe some shrubbery, those are all important things to highlight for that potential buyer to see. The other thing is if there are any exclusive amenities. So is your parking space closer to the home than your neighbor's? Do you have an entry that is private or maybe a private outdoor space? These are all important things to showcase to that buyer and again, make sure they have a purpose, back to talking about maximizing every single space, so that the buyer is aware of that and really comes to appreciate that point about your townhome, even though the privacy may not be the same as a single family home. Okay, number 3, competitive market positioning. Obviously, townhomes are a really great buy because they're often in desirable areas where someone may not want to purchase a condo, but they're not ready for a full single family residential home. So it's important that we competitively position your home. Like I mentioned before, is your home a standalone townhome, no shared walls? Does it have a garage? Is it the end unit of a group of townhomes? These are all really important things to position your townhome as unique. If you don't have any of those, let's talk about any eco-friendly features that your home has. Maybe it was built green. That's important to emphasize to future buyers. Maybe you have air conditioning or you added an AC unit to the home to make it cooler in the summer. That's really important. Maybe you have views from the rooftop. These are all essential things that we want to emphasize. Maybe you have smart home technology that you've also put in, or really nice blinds, because a lot of the new build townhomes don't come with blinds. So that can be really essential for a new buyer and a big cost savings to them. So we want to competitively position your townhome in the market. Okay, let's look at the numbers. The average days on market for townhomes in Seattle can definitely vary widely, and there is a lot of seasonality. Just in 2024, we saw the average days on market in January and February around 41 days, and then it dropped down to the lowest of the year in June 2024 at 20 days. Now it went back up, and it has gone back up until the time of this filming in January 2025, when it's at about 48 days on market. So really making sure that you position your property, how it compares to the competition, and highlighting your improvements and the unique selling proposition of your home can go a really long way. Selling a townhome requires a nuanced approach that addresses buyer concerns directly. By emphasizing those unique features and preparing your property meticulously, you can navigate these challenges successfully. If you're thinking about selling, don't go it alone. Subscribe here for more insights and to see the rest of this series, Seattle Shifts from Townhome to Your Dream Single Family Home. And I'll give you more tips and tactics on how to navigate this process, including pricing, how to get a loan to transition from that home. There's gonna be a lot of great content in this series you won't wanna miss out on, so be sure to click subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. I'd love to know your thoughts. If you do have a townhome, be sure to leave a comment below about your main concern when you go to sell a townhome and get your new single family home. And if you're thinking about selling your townhome, don't go it alone. Reach out, let's have a free conversation on Zoom about the strategy that you may want to employ, whether that's within the next 6 months or if it's in the next 2 years. Now is the right time to start thinking about that sale so you can address it with strategy in mind. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so happy that you watched this video, and I really appreciate you following along, and I hope that these are providing great value to you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again.